When were we supposed to meet with the producers?
Not for a long time. Ben said he would meet you here in the office and take you down to the green room.
The green room?
Yeah, that's where people are going to be on the show. Wait until they go on the show.
Well, considering how I feel, that's very apropos.
You want some tea to calm you?
No, thanks. I'm sorry I came so early, Elliot. I was just driving Nita crazy at the boutique.
Oh, I don't mind. I don't mind, you know that. Listen, have any of the charities let you know if they're going to sponsor the opening yet?
No, not yet. It would seem to me it would be a very simple matter, but they seem to have all this red tape involved.
You'd think that one of them would realize what a great opportunity it is for funds and publicity.
You would think. Well, at least several of them have promised to let me know this afternoon, so...
Any of them look like they'll come through?
One looks promising.
Listen, I have an idea.
What?
Instead of sitting here and worrying yourself, why don't we go have some lunch?
Oh, I don't know if I can eat anything, Elliot. But if I sit here much longer, I'm going to jump right out of my skin. I think it might be good to move around a little bit.
Well, in that case, I have another idea.
What?
Well, there's a playground and the school next door to the station.
A playground?
Mm-hmm. We could go play on the swings. If you don't mind regressing to your childhood for about half an hour.
I'm already there. I feel rather silly about how I'm reacting.
Oh,
to
I
this
don't
whole
think you're being
interview
silly.
thing.
I think I'm being silly.
I really do thank you for everything you've done for me.
Oh, listen, like I said the other day, all the thanks I need is for you to make a success out of this boutique. In spite of Iris. Now, let's go.
Okay, to the playground. Playground?
How on earth did Paige get booked on the Phil Roberts show?
Billy Joe Wright told Ben about her.
Billy Joe? Well, why would he tell whoever Ben is about Paige?
Apparently they're friends. His ex-wife works with Paige now.
How do you know that?
Mr. Carrington told me.
I don't understand why Mr. Roberts would want that woman on his show.
Oh, this is just a last-minute thing. They had some dead time because somebody canceled. Apparently, people have been canceling all week because... Because what? Because Mr. Roberts, it seems to me, has been a little tipsy lately.
On the air?
Yes, he slurs his words. He runs on and on. What are you thinking, Mrs. Wheeler?
What time does that show go on?
1 o'clock.
Oh, there's still time.
There's still time for what?
Never you mind.
Who are you calling, Mrs. Wheeler?
Vicki Bellman. No one was at the desk, so I'm inviting myself in.
Oh, sweet Meredith.
How nice to see you.
I haven't seen you since the governor's reception.
That's right. Hello, Vicki.
Hello, Iris. Well, I've got work to do. It was nice seeing you, Mrs. Wheeler.
Thank you.
What a lovely girl.
Yes, she is. Well, this is a nice surprise. Iris, please, sit down.
Thank you. Well, how do you feel about your daughter's being a working director of World Oil?
Well, I have very mixed feelings about that.
I'm sure she's quite capable.
I don't doubt she's capable, but...
I think Rena will be a valuable asset to the company.
I hope you're right. So, what can I do for you?
I've been working on the fundraising campaign for the children's wing at the hospital.
Yes, I know.
Well, we're having a bazaar next week, and I'd like to go on the Phil Roberts show and talk about it this afternoon.
Next time I think it'll be a little chocolate.
Oh,
I hope we're not late.
Oh, I don't think so. If Ben had already come for us, he'd have left a message with my secretary. Thank you.
I'm not really sure I care, Elliot.
Are you serious?
Yeah. No, not really. It's just I haven't had so much fun in such a long time.
I know. I'd forgotten how high you can go in one of those swings.
I thought you were going to take a full circle there for a minute.
Oh, childhood. I wouldn't go through any of that again. No, what are you thinking about?
Not important.
About the show?
About Dennis.
Well, there's no need to worry about him. I spoke with Dr. Jeffries yesterday. He's very pleased with Dennis's progress.
Good. You were right, Elliot, when you said we had to talk.
Well, I still think we should, but I don't think this is the time.
So much has happened. It's just so easy not to deal with it.
Deceptively easy. I think that's what happened to Dennis. He couldn't face the fact that he still cared about you. That's why he felt betrayed by me.
I still care very much about you.
And I care a great deal about you, too. But I see now why Dennis felt he was betrayed.
All right. All right. Wrong time to talk, but we will, right?
We will. There's Ben.
Uh-oh, there goes my stomach.
Hello, Elliot.
How are you, Ben?
Mrs. Carrington. How do you feel? A little nervous?
Yeah.
No need to be. I just came by to let you know that there'd be another little change, yet another, in our show this afternoon. I hope you don't mind.
I don't mind. I'm just very grateful for the chance to appear.
Well, what's the change exactly?
Well, we've added one more guest, someone I think you know, Iris Wheeler. Mrs. Wheeler, this is Phil Roberts.
How do you do, Mr. Roberts?
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Wheeler.
I want to thank you for accommodating me on such short notice.
It's no trouble at all.
I'm very interested in this particular charity and would like to publicize it as much as possible.
What charity is that?
It's the Children's Wing at Gulf Coast Hospital.
Please sit down, Mrs. Wheeler. I love children, and we're here to do good as well as entertain.
Now, Mrs. Wheeler, since we put you on the show to accommodate you, I'm afraid that we won't be able to give you quite as much time as we normally would.
Oh, I understand.
Oh, I think we can find a few moments for Mrs. Wheeler.
Well, Phil,
Let me see the lineup, Ben. Well, we got this girl singer who's not very good. We can give her one song instead of two, and then we got that Paige Carrington woman.
Paige Carrington.
Yes. She's your daughter-in-law, isn't she?
My ex-daughter-in-law.
well, I thought we'd have Mrs. Wheeler on the first half hour and Mrs. Carrington on the second half.
Well, Paige and I are not on the best of terms, but I don't mind sharing a segment with her. For the sake of the children, of course.
Well, I thought that it would work better in different segments.
Ben, why don't you get Mrs. Wheeler a cup of tea?
Sure, and I'll show you where the makeup room is at the same time.
Ben, you get her a cup of tea, and I'll chat with her about the Children's Wing. She's not going to need much makeup. She looks absolutely gorgeous. Mrs. Wheeler, I gather you don't like your ex-daughter-in-law very much.
I loathe her.